month's topic is reviving the email engagement. And I know that many of you know how I feel about the engagement, utilizing email as a great way to get your marketing and your message across to your family, friends, and fans. We all tend to focus on social media as a way of getting our art and our message in front of others. But I have to tell you, the dynamics of utilizing a direct email marketing campaign on a very gentle basis is something that I've talked about in the past and something that I'm going to put a little emphasis on today. I also sent out to those that are participating on the Photo Art Pavilion platform our newsletter for the month of May going into June. And there's also an emphasis there on email marketing. So definitely want to dig into this in a short while. I would like to also ask my business partner, Jessica, to say a quick hello and address the audience today.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. And I know you guys are very excited for this topic. I do want to share that I do have a quick little tip or information to share at the end as a little added bonus. But Joanne, yeah, this is a really great topic. And, to really hone in on your email marketing, really emailing your VIPs, I think is huge. And like Joanne said, it's one of those biggest things that you can do for your business or for your art business. So Joanne, let's get into it, and then we'll jump over to the end with a little extra tip.
All right, sounds great. And just so Jessica's tidbit at the end, totally stick around. It's always exciting to hear Jessica's take and a little add on to what it is that I'm going to be presenting to you in a short while. And we also do our robust Q&A at the end. So as you're reviewing the slideshow with me, just take some notes if you have questions, and we'll take your questions at the end. All right, so let's jump in. Reviving email engagement, strategies for reconnection. So one of the first things that you want to be doing with regard to your email list is you want to analyze that list. You want to take a look at the demographics that your list is comprised of. You want to look at past engagement. You also want to look at the interests that your audience seem to be gravitating towards and whatever preferences that they may have. So how do you do that? One of the things that most email marketing softwares provide to you is the ability to segment your email list by these demographics. We do it here at Photo Art Pavilion. We have a list of several thousand photographers, art collectors, and so forth that we work with, but we also segment them into different piles, if you will, of an audience, because not everybody wants to receive an invite to the J&J Café. Not everyone wants to receive information about our upcoming virtual exhibits. So we do separate our lists into these segments. It's really critical. And then once you divide your list into these little groups, based on their engagement levels, you're going to see that when you start to send out emails specific to those segments, your engagement is going to go up. Okay, so how do we examine, or how do we know what that engagement is all about, who's engaging, and so forth? Once again, in your email marketing software, we've talked about this. It could be Constant Contact, it could be MailChimp, it could be any other variety that is out there. They will provide you, after an email goes out, you can then go look at the data and analyze what it is that those people that received those emails, what it is that they did with it. Okay, did they click through? Where did they click through? And so forth and so on. You can also analyze the subject lines of your emails. Some email subject lines are stronger than others. So you want to be able to separate what is working as far as a subject line that gets your audience excited to click and open, and what might fall flat. So just because you're sending out emails and you may not be getting the results that you want initially, taking a look at the data that comes along, that goes behind that, those emails going out, is something that is going to really help drive and reconnect your audience that you're working with. Obviously, we want to be able to create a very compelling introduction or reintroduction email. So if it's been a while since you've last communicated with your audience, you want to have this sort of a reintroduction email that gets them excited about opening it, seeing what you're up to, and so forth. One of the things that you can do with a reintroduction is you can put an offer out there. You can offer some sort of a value, like an exclusive offer, a discount, some sort of free resource to give the people receiving your emails an incentive to re-engage with what it is that you're doing. Okay, you can also be a little bit cautious. It says it here on the slide. Be careful about always offering constant discounts, because for every time you offer a discount or an incentive, you might have that short-term engagement, but then in the long term, they're always going to be expecting that in order to work back and forth with you. So you want to kind of pepper your discounts and your offers maybe once every 2 or 3 months. But in between, we're going to put some filler in there. We're going to put filler like we've always talked about in some of our other approaches to social media and other engagements that we do, like telling your story, talk about you. Okay, so we'll get into that right now. We want to personalize what it is that we're doing. So personalizing their names on those emails instead of, hey, you, we want to say, hi, Joanne, as the address, or even in the subject line. I do that often with emails going out from Photo Art Pavilion to some of you, where I'll have your name in the subject line of that email. And when I do that, I have to tell you that the open rate just jumps. When your name is in the dear so-and-so area, as opposed to just hello, the folks that are reading those emails, I can see, and I'll show you, there'll be some mapping you can look at, that you're actually going through and reading what's inside of those emails. So make sure that when you're doing your email marketing, that you're doing some personalization of your emails, and then just kind of keep an eye on what it is that when you're doing that, and you're segmenting your emails, you're personalizing those emails. Now we want to start to take a look and see if your engagement starts to go up, and if the interest that those folks are clicking on. Maybe 1 month you're talking about your floral portfolio. Maybe the next month you're talking about a trip that you took somewhere. What is engaging those in your audience? And then let's see if we could further segment them down to, instead of just family, friends, and fans, how about fans slash florals, fans slash landscape, and see if we can't sort of drill down into what it is that they're really, really, really looking for. So going back into segmentation. So implement re-engagement campaigns. We want to have targeted campaigns, okay? Targeting to the audience that it is that you're speaking to. We want to offer, on occasion, special promotions and limited time offers. Limited time offers are a great way to sort of get people excited. So I usually utilize the special promotion, I'm sorry, limited time offers when I get closer to the holiday season, and I start to put out some of my promotions, and I tell my audience this is a limited time offer valid through November 15th or November 30th as we get closer to the month of December, because I want to give my audience the ability to A, act slash react, and B, give myself plenty of time to get my production done and in the hands of those purchases. And then, of course, you want to try and encourage the inactive subscribers to re-engage them. So be creative. Think of a way that you can get those that are still receiving your email. Maybe they're not opening those emails, but what is it that they may be showing you? And I'll get that, show you that information as we get further into the presentation. But believe it or not, if they're not, if you're seeing that your open rate is light, okay, or very low, your click-through rate is very low, you could also see through some of the softwares that come with these marketing campaigns, the email marketing softwares, they'll actually map where they're clicking. Okay, so that's interesting as well. Avoid spamming, obviously. If you're sending too many emails, with too much irrelevant information, your email list, your click-through rates, your open rates, all of that is going to drop like a rock. So you want to make sure that you're not annoying your subscribers, and you don't want to do things with your email list that is going to damage your name, your brand, who you are as an artist, and why they're on your list in the first place. Because they're going to come, they're going to get folks that are going to unsubscribe. It happens to all of us, even though we draft some really amazing stuff, but they're going to unsubscribe. But when they do unsubscribe, make sure you have a pleasant response saying, sorry to see you go, or something along those lines, so that you're not making enemies, but you're still protecting your brand and protecting your email list to make sure that it is as viable as possible. So the content marketing promotes your business effectively. There's a variety of ways to content market that marketers can choose from. In other words, make sure that we're talking about various ways of re-engaging your audience. So one of the ways is having your content, your artwork embedded in those emails. That might be one way to go at it. Another way might be going at the personal side of who you are and what it is, what you're doing and what you're up to, where you're traveling next. But the content element is very important, because this is where, if you've segmented your list properly and you have, let's say, a group of family, friends, or fans that are very interested in your landscape work, they're going to, when you send out an email that's heavy on the content of landscape and what it is that you're doing with that landscape work, you're going to see your engagement improve. So think about that as well. Welcome feedback. Every once in a while, when I send out an email, I might do this once a year, truthfully, as I grow my list, as I get past the holidays. Usually it's like January or February, I may send out an email to my list asking for their feedback. If they send me something that is not a compliment, I will take that into stride, take that with stride, and I will move forward, and I will make adjustments based on what it is that my subscribers are telling me. What do they want more of? What do they want less of? Is all very important, because the customer is always, always, always right. You, as an artist, are trying to improve your reach amongst your audience. You're trying to expand your reach amongst your audience. So the last thing that you want to do is not listen to their voice and what it is that they have to say back to you. And finally, I've beat this pretty hard today with this presentation, but segmentation is gold. Very, very, very important. We can have a list of 4,000 or 50. Doesn't matter the size of the list, but the important element of that list is that you're segmenting who they are and what their interests are. And the only way you're going to know what their interests are is by going through step by step by step what it is that they're opening, checking the data that comes off of your email marketing software. What are they interested in? What kind of emails are relevant for them? Where are they engaging? And all of this. I thought I had a slide here, and maybe I don't, but one of the things that I know, the software that we use, which is Active Campaign, with the emails that we send out, we get obviously a data report, a click-through rates, and all of this, how many opens, how many didn't open, how many emails bounced. But we also get this heat map where we can actually see where a subscriber to our email list clicked within the email. What is it that got them excited to, first they're opening it, yay, we're all excited about that, but then what did they do with it? Did they click through on a specific image, a specific phrase? That element of it is very important as well. All of this data helps us segment our list so that we are going to keep improving our click-through rates, improving our engagement, and growing our audience that is relevant to what it is that we're doing and what it is that we want them to engage with us. So I think I'm going to end my presentation right here. Jessica, I know that you have something to chat with the group today. And I also encourage all of you to, if you have any questions, please, be prepared for our Q&A segment. We'd love to hear from you and move forward. All right, Jess?
Excellent. Thank you, Joanne. That was fantastic. So actually, I kind of have like two different things. So first one, Joanne, that was a great presentation. And I gotta say too, when segmenting and stuff and really focusing on finding the right niches for your email marketing list, when developing your emails, make sure you have beautiful images in there. People are very, very visual. We want to be able to get our content in there. We want to be able to share all that, but also make sure you have your visuals. And then what do you want them to do? So if you have an email that you've created and it's not a promotional email, what is your end goal? Well, I would assume that your end goal would be to have them click onto that email and then bring them over to your website. So enlarge that image, make them a little bit more interactive. You could even say, share, if you love this image, share it on social media. Here's the click through, right? You want your audience to be able to share your work to gain a larger audience, right? So that was kind of like pro tip number one. And then the second one, it's, I don't know if it's really a tip. It was just more something I just kind of like looked into, and I was kind of baffled by. So, we all have our struggles trying to grow our email list, our social media following, and so on. And what they say is usually pick a social media platform that you really want to focus on. Now, I was Googling to find out the numbers. So there are 3 billion people on Facebook. 3 billion people. That's a lot of folks. Now it goes down in line. Second up is YouTube at 2.5 billion, and then Instagram at 2 billion. There's a lot of folks on all of these social media networks or platforms. And, for us to kind of like have these struggles here and there, I think it's more mental blocks at this point. There's so many people that to gain extra like here and there and interaction, like there are people out there that are looking to connect, looking to interact with you. So I would say keep trying, change up your social media reaches and so on, and really focus on one platform and see if you can make a difference in that one platform. Right. And then take those steps and try to implement the different changes in any of the social media platforms that you're looking to make strides in. But I was just kind of blown away about the numbers alone. Like that's a lot of folks on all of those different networks.
It's a
So
lot of folks, which it makes it much more difficult for your posts to be actually seen and engaged with. So, which brings me back to why is it that we emphasize the direct email?
of course.
And
So yeah,
yeah,
so running your social media posts to help grow your email list is always what it's about. But just to have those numbers at hand that able to trickle in those people that want to learn more about you, the artist, your brand, what you're doing, what you're creating. So there are definitely so many people out there, and it's just a matter of getting in front of them. And really ended up getting them onto your email list, your VIP list. So Joanne, thank you so much for bringing this topic to life today. There's so much here, and I know there's going to be some folks that probably have a couple of questions and whatnot, so I'd love to be able to open up the floor, unless Joanne, you want to share anything else.
no, I didn't think that I went too in depth on this topic this month. Um, I could have gone really, 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 really deep, and maybe we do a part two to this. I was just trying to give you all the overview and really to give you the understanding that you have to start somewhere. So if you're not doing any email marketing whatsoever, the time to start is always now. And again, if your list is comprised of only family as a starting point, if it's 5 or 10 or 15 people, that's a starting point. And then from there, the engagement starts to grow, because once you get comfortable with sending out emails with your name, your brand, your art, your message, it becomes very easy. It becomes easier as the months go by, because the first month you might feel a little hesitant, and oh my gosh, these people are going to think I'm nuts, what do they care? And then you send it again, and then you start to get responses. Like I'll get responses from some of my friends, like that was really great, really interesting. I'm so glad you showed me how you get, I did a whole email this past month on my digital darkroom and the processes that I go through to go from out of the camera to an art piece in my gallery. uh, they're interested in that. They're interested in that it's more than just a grab the phone, the iPhone especially. Oh, we got these great iPhones. I mean, click and post, we all know as art photographers that it's more than that. And I think it's very important to honor the craft of photography by telling people that it's more than that and showing them that it's more than that. And then seeing what their engagement is when these emails go out. And as they are engaging, as I said, segment who responded and who didn't even open your email and why, certain things along that nature. And then if you do get it, an email software like a MailChimp or Active Campaign or Constant Contact that also gives you the data for the heat map when your emails are actually open and what they're clicking on, then you know what is working and what is not. And it's more important to focus on what is not, because at that point, to ditch that way or style of what it is that you're sending out and open up a new style and focus on something that is working. So that's really, I think that the basis of it all. But starting with 5, go to 10, go to 20, and slowly but surely you'll get your list up. I mean, again, I think I have just around 200 personal contacts that have engaged with me over the years. I thought, wow, that's kind of low, but it's really not, because I'm still generating sales off my email list. So I encourage all of you to make the effort, do your research. There are some YouTube videos that we have done in the past, I believe maybe a few years back, suggesting various platforms for your email marketing lists that do not charge you any money for, I believe, the first 50 or 100 emails that you put on that list. And I think that's a great place to start. And then once you start to see the power of what your emails can do, you'll see that, like Jessica said, billions of people on social media, and all your buddies are on your email list. Those are the ones that really want to work with you. Hello.
Okay. Um, this is great. My big problem is over time, I lose momentum. And, I've always been easy to earn money and stuff and get my photography work done. But I've been having trouble directing attention towards the personal work now that I'm becoming older and don't want to work as a commercial photographer quite as much. But in the end, I'll be gung ho and I'll, tweak out my list and I'll send out 2 or 3 months, and then poof, I'm busy shooting every day, and who cares anymore? I got all that money again. So, do you have any tips for that?
Yep. Easy. You're on our email list. You receive our email marketing newsletter every month. I just sent one out yesterday. Well, we just sent it out yesterday. We put together a marketing calendar for our Photo Art Pavilion members. And in that marketing calendar, and I'm going to see if I can share my screen with this, as I just popped it up. There it is. In the marketing calendar, you can see that we have 3 columns. And within the 3 columns, we kind of give you a little bit of guidance as to what you can be doing in the first few weeks of week by week by week of the current month. And then we get involved in some topics that you can to motivate you, to bring you forward in, so you don't lose momentum. And then, of course, we have this area here, which is the pre-sales marketing focus, which opens you up going forward. Now, if you have a software like Constant Contact or MailChimp, you could actually draft your emails way in advance and schedule them way in advance, as opposed to waiting, uh, like what I call like the panic zone. I try my hardest when I get this marketing newsletter every month. I try, and I had this conversation with Jessica the other day, to take it, I leave it on my desktop, or I'll print it out and leave it on my desk, and I'll say I've got to at least check off one thing or two things on this list that I have to get out to my audience, and I'll read it and read it and read it and read it, and something will pop out that will inspire me on either current work, past work, future plans. Something will inspire me to put something down on paper, put it into an email, and get it out there to my audience. So that on the email side is I get my inspiration from that marketing newsletter. And I do a lot of times draft these emails way in advance. They're not complete, but the ideas are there, the concepts are there, and then I go back and get on them, as I get closer to those months that are coming. So that's kind of how I stay motivated, Aaron.
Oh, yeah, I want to jump into the talking topics. I know this past marketing calendar is a little bit more focused, hashtag based subjects to be able to talk about, but typically they're not hashtag based, and you could implement them into different months to give you inspiration. So a talking topic is just a different direction, a different subject to kind of dig in a little bit deeper in with your own work, how to bring it forward, how to tell a story. And that just definitely helps to generate a little bit different ideas. And you can implement those into your email marketing, and then also any kind of blog work. And then, of course, share through social media. So talking topics to me is always a big section. Even though it's only 4, it's a big section. You can definitely implement that and push the different topics out into different months too, if needed. That helps.
And as I said earlier, not every email has to be art centric. It could just be something like, happy summer. Summer's here. I'm going to be out with my camera. Blah 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 blah. You could just write stories about what it is that's going on in your art world. It doesn't always have to be buy my art, because again, that becomes a little bit redundant, and that's when people start dropping off your list. So you have to pepper a variety of how you're communicating with your audience.
Yep. Do you bring them into your world, tell them stories about different moments when you're out shooting, something that happened to you, something you experienced? People always want to learn about other people's experiences, and that's how they really connect with you a little bit more as a photographer and artist.
Yeah. I have a direct message here from Cheryl. It says, I have a hard time getting anyone to even join my email list. My total email list is barely 100. I'm not sure I am at the point where I need to target in groups. I totally disagree. It could be one person in your group that isn't, again, I don't know what software you're using, Cheryl, but if you see what it is that how they're engaging with you, you can definitely start to segment your list immediately. You can even segment your lists, family, friends, fans, if you'd like. Building your list is something that takes time, but whenever I'm out socializing, and people will always invariably, the topic comes up. So what do you do? Well, I'm an artist. Remember we did that J&J Café a while back. I'm an artist. Oh, really? Blah, blah, blah. And now you start to tell your story a little bit. And once you're telling your story, you can simply say to them, hey, either give them your card or ask them, would you mind if I send you an email? If I contact you, send you some of my stuff. And that's how I started building my email list, was just, when they say, what do you do? I'm an artist. Oh, really? Oh, I'd be interested in seeing some of your work. Terrific. Let me write down your email. I type it right into the phone. I mean, our phones are like, mini computers that we're walking around with. Just type the email into the phone, or send yourself an email with their email and get back to them and say, hey, it was nice meeting you last weekend. Had a great time, down at the Tiki Bar. And, here's some more information about me and who I am and what I do. Okay, so that I think is very important. And then she says here, I only send emails 4 times a year, so I send it to everyone. I want you guys and gals to get in the habit of a little bit more frequent than 4 times a year, because what we're trying to do is build your brand. You are a brand. Okay, some of you are connected to Photo Art Pavilion, which is great. That's our brand as a group, but you yourself are your own brand. And when I send out my marketing emails, I send it with my name, Joanne Hennig Photography, my signature, my brand, my face, but all the links go over to my gallery, my online gallery at Photo Art Pavilion, because that's where the sales are. So you see how I work that? And then send more. Yes, I think you should send your emails more frequently, even if it's a paragraph or two. And then out of the 100, only 3 or 4 are opening. Much less click on anything. I probably need more help than a session like this will accomplish. But thanks for your suggestions. Absolutely, it's always going to come down to trials, and you can also again, I could have gone a lot deeper on this subject. There's a thing called A/B testing, where you could send to the same list 2 different emails at the same time and see which one they open and then where they're clicking and so forth. And then you could start again, once again, to gauge how it is that they want to hear from you. Maybe they like the lighter side of you, your comical side or your humorous side, or maybe they really want the serious side. But either way, something, your personality has to come through. We're selling art here. We're not selling automobiles. We're selling art, and art is personal. It's light. It's not, doesn't have to be super serious, on a scale, if you will. So I would make those suggestions for you, Cheryl. And again, if you want to reach out to us, the email's in the chat room. Happy to engage with you a little bit further. Really great having all of you with us. The weather's getting nice. It's time to get out and explore with the camera a little bit more than we can during the winter months. So please do so. Those that are members of Photo Art Pavilion, I really encourage you to keep your portfolios up to date. Make sure that you're putting your best work forward. And then once that work is on the website and inside your gallery, that's when we really start to dig in on the promotional side. So first, create the art, upload the art, and then promote, right? Create, upload, promote, repeat. That's the formula.
Excellent.
All right, everybody. Have an awesome, awesome Memorial Weekend, honoring our vets, and we'll see you next month.
All right. Bye, everyone.